Okay, so let's come on with it. So we're first going to get this chair, countertop, or whatever you have. And so you can see my feet here. So we're just going to be leaning back. My heels are staying on the ground. And I'm stretching forward. I can do one at a time. So I'm stretching my left one right now, holding for 5 seconds. And then I'm going over and stretching my right one, holding for 5 seconds. If you want to get aggressive, you can kind of do both at the same time, trying to stretch both of them out there. Hold for 5 seconds. And again, we're only going to do about 3 on each side. Holding for 5 seconds. And then going right over to the other side, holding for 5 seconds. And then we're going to head right into our dynamic stretching. So you can set the chair off to the side, give yourself some room. And so we're going to start with that dynamic stretching, acting like we're running. Hang on to something solid, the chair. The heavy bag's probably not the best. And so I'm just starting to swing nice and slow. About 5 nice and easy ones. And then get a little bit more aggressive. And trying just like your form running. So opposite arm and leg. And then last 5, a little bit more aggressive. Trying to really kick the ceiling and try to kick yourself in the butt. And really getting that loosened up. So then you can reverse it and do the other leg. You can do same arm and then opposites again. So nice and easy. If you get really good at this, balance is part of this. So if you get really good at this, you can kind of swing back and forth, trying to pump those legs and keep your balance at the same time. Getting a little bit more aggressive. Again, as you go, try to get that foot really up there and get that foot really back to kick your butt. You'll feel the hamstring stretch in the front when you go up high, and you'll feel your quadriceps and your hip flexor stretch on the back as you go behind. Next, so that's quads, hamstrings, and glutes. And so next you're going to do a little bit hanging off the side. I'm just doing this so you can see me the best. So now I'm going to go forward and in, and back and out, forward and in, back and out. Again, 5, nice and easy and slow. And then another 5, getting a little bit more aggressive. Good. And then last 5, getting really aggressive. Really swinging that back and forth. And it's going to throw your balance off a little bit, and that's good. We're trying to get your balance a little bit better as we progress here. Okay, and then you're just going to switch legs. I'm going to go from a different angle so you can see. Again, I'm going to go in and forward, and then out and back. In and forward, out and back. Again, nice and easy for the first 5. And then get a little bit more aggressive, both forward and backwards. Trying to keep that leg as straight as you can. I'm not sure what it looks like on the video, but the more straight you get, the better. Okay, and then a little bit more aggressive. And progress it on. And get that last 5. Really stretching those hips. Adductors when you're going back. And glutes when you're going forward into the inside. Okay, last little warm up. Arm circles. Let's do about 5 forward. Small. Then another 5. A little bit bigger. A little bit faster. And then last 5. Really big circles. There you go. Excellent. And then 5 big ones backwards. Good. And then a few self-hugs. Excellent. And I said that was going to be 2.5 minutes, but it was 5. But that, you should feel you got warm, you got some blood flowing, and you're ready to go. Let's cool down with our stretching again. So now we're going to go back to the static stretching that we used to do years ago again. And so, again, we're only going to do 5-second holds, and we do one leg at a time. But I think that this stretching at the end really does decrease muscle soreness and achiness after you do work out and do something. So I think it's very important to kind of spend that time and do that 5-minute stretch at the end to really relax and get that lactic acid out of those muscles and decrease that amount of soreness that you're going to feel later on. And that's just a little bit of time of stretching and enjoying it. Again, I'm just doing 5 seconds on one leg, 5 seconds on the other leg, And I'm doing about 3 on each side, okay? Again, you can do both at the same time if you're in a hurry, but that's kind of the best and easiest. Okay, next one, I like to stretch the IT band out a little bit. And so if you're leaning up against a wall or a countertop, you can just have, you're stretching out this leg has all the weight on it, this leg's coming over just to balance you, and you're just trying to take that hip that way as far as you can to stretch that IT band that hooks up on the iliac crest and down into the knee. And you're just trying to push yourself that way, holding for 5 seconds, and then coming back out of it. Let's do 5 of those. I find this cool down stretching actually be really rewarding. I know that years ago I did not do it because I was always in a hurry, but now it's kind of part of my routine to kind of get that post stretching in to really feel like, number one, I'm not sore an hour or 2 later, or tomorrow I'm not sore, but also part of it is it just kind of slows me down and chills me back out after we have been doing some heart pumping stuff. So again, now I'm doing the left side, and I'm just gonna try to push. And you can use this hand to push if you want to, but it's really just driving that hip towards the wall or towards the chair. So if I'm hanging onto the wall, I could be doing the same thing. Stretching that on out. Again, hold for your 5. I don't really have much weight on this leg in front. It's all on my left leg as I stretch that baby forward and relax it on out. Excellent job. I hope everybody had a good time. Obviously, I'm doing this first thing in the morning before anybody's here at the clinic, but you could be doing this any day, any time of the day. And again, I'd encourage you to share it and pass it on. I feel like the more people we can get moving, the better off we're going to be when we come back out of this. Okay, so next is, so that's IT band. Next is going to be quadriceps and hip flexor. So we're going to try, if you can't do this, this is fine, but you're going to try to grab your ankle, and then you're trying to pull it back while you're keeping yourself up straight. And so I don't need to pull it to my butt right away. I just want to get it behind me. So if I turn to the side, I want to stay straight up and down, and I'm trying to get this leg behind me, and then I'm taking my heel to my butt. And I should feel it all through the front of my thigh. Hold for 5 seconds. I can relax it down. I'll show you an alternative of trying to do this if you can't get it in this position. Again, hold for 5 seconds. Keeping yourself up straight is important. Getting that leg behind that plumb line is important. If I lean forward, or if I just do it like this, I'm not really doing much, okay? So I gotta be straight up and down. I gotta get that leg behind, and then heel to my butt. Okay, on the other leg, I'm gonna show you a different way, so you guys that can do that, just turn around and do your other leg. People that can't do that, the more you can kind of just lunge forward, so you hang on to that, and just lean forward, and try to keep your body up straight. You're gonna feel that hip flexor there, stretching that on out, okay? Hold for 5, and then relax out. Lean forward, hold for 5. So you're basically getting that leg behind you. Again, so I'm going to hang on to this and show you from the side. I'm just here, I'm standing up straight, and I'm just trying to take my hips that way and really lunge forward. And like I said, you should feel on the front of that leg there, holding for 5 seconds, and then relaxing off. Holding for 5 seconds, and relaxing off. Excellent job. Okay, so that's quadriceps. Last thing. Well, not last thing. I always say last thing. How many times have I said last thing during this video? So next thing is going to be adductors. So I'm just going to be legs off to the side, and then I'm just slowly kind of leaning towards the one side, stretching the groin and adductors there. Hold for 5 seconds, and then I have a tendency to just go over to the other side. Again, this hand can push me that way, and you'll feel more on the inside there, stretching, okay? Again, you want to feel a good sensation of a stretch. I don't want you bouncing, so bouncing was old school. I don't want that. Slow, steady stretch for 5 seconds, just to what you can tolerate. And you can be a little bit more aggressive with this if you want, and you're younger. If you want to squat down and kind of lean back towards your foot, you can kind of hold for 5 seconds there, and then come back up. And for those people that can't get down there, you're just kind of doing like how you were doing it, and stretch and hold that there too. And again, the further you get back to your foot, the more you're stretching that groin. Perfect. You can go straight on down. That's just hamstring stretching, right? So stretching those hamstrings on the back side, trying to touch the floor. I'm not sure if you can see that in the video. Hold for 5 and back up. Hold for 5 and back up. So that's one way, especially if your balance is a little bit off, that might help you a little bit more with that. You can get a little bit more here I got my feet into the camera there. You just cross one leg, you're gonna stretch that left one more than the right one. And you're just going forward. Probably the biggest thing with hamstring stretching, I think, is really realizing that you're bending from your hips, not your back. So I don't have to touch my floor. I can, but I'm trying to really bend from here. A lot of people will have a tendency to bend from back here and just lean over, and that's all they get. So I really need you to think about you're hinging right from here, and so you're sticking your keister out, you're keeping your chest up and your back, and so right there I can feel my hamstring stretching, okay? So I don't have to go all the way to the floor. If I want to, I can feel a little bit more of that, but if I just go to here and keep my back straight and bend from my hips, I'm gonna feel that stretch, okay? And I'm also getting some of that balance there because my body weight's coming forward, so I'm gonna feel my toes dig in. And so balance is a huge thing that I really like, okay? So let's switch legs and we'll finish up here with this. So right there, just coming forward, feeling that good stretch on the back of that hamstring. Again, I can be a little bit more aggressive the more I go down, but I want to try to hinge from my hip and not from my low back. So I don't want to bend over. I want to stick my keister out and then try to bend from my hip to that point of that stretch, hold that stretch, and then back off of it. Hold that stretch and back off of it. There you go. Hey, that was another great morning with Physical Therapy Solutions. I hope you enjoyed the COVID shuffle or whatever you want to call it. Feel free to like us and share us as much as you can and as much as you want to. Again, I like to give a little piece out to my children. They always like when I really dab for them. And enjoy your day, have fun, and stay safe.